When your goal is to make payroll, the best you're going to do is make payroll. They have the pleasure of chatting with Shayan Kabani. How are you doing, Shayan?
I'm doing good, Warren. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Happy Friday. This is a really fun one because I like your story with MSK Signs and your branding and how you took a family business and rocket fueled it to the next level. So tell me about, just give me your short story on how you got into what you're doing now.
Man, let's see. The story goes back to 2006. My dad was a lawyer and he just didn't like what they were doing for their consumers at the end of the day. So he ended up finding a 400 square foot shop that was previously a sign shop. And he went in with the intention to do immigration law, right? And that was his premise. Like, I'm gonna provide immigration law services to people, paperwork, etc. But it was a previously assigned shop, and basically he had to feed the family, right? So people came in, I need a sign. He was like, I can get you a sign, and that's how the ball got rolling. I was very young. I think I was in sixth grade at that time. So when that was occurring, and growing up from that time all the way to college until I was 25, I wasn't really happy with the business or how it was operating and what it was all about. And so I got into college. I got an offer. I passed it up for $0 salary. Went to MBA to get my MBA. Got into law school. I was like, hey, let me try everything under the sun.
Yeah.
To figure this out where I don't have to come to the business.
I love it. So by the way, what if he would have rented a space that was like, I don't know, a plumbing shop? Would he be doing plumbing? Would you be doing plumbing now, you think?
Probably, man. It's one of those things just are in your life, and then you kind of circumvent your life around it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And
so I interrupted you. So you went to college, you got your master's, you got an MBA, and then what happened? You're going to law school.
I got into law school to become a sports agent because I love sports. I want to do everything under the sun for sports.
Cool. Okay.
Lo and behold, COVID happens. And we get a message from law school that, everything's going to be online, but you're still going to be paying shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And then I got a phone call conversation with a sports agent that actually manages some actual NBA players.
Cool.
And we were having a conversation, and I think I was like 25 at this time, and we were having a conversation, and he's like, brother, if you want to be a sports agent, just remember, you're not going to make money until you're like 35, 40. You're not going to make money. You're just going to be broke as shit. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like the life I want to lead.
He really sold it hard.
So he sold it hard to me. He's like, I don't want competition, and you're not going to become a competition because this sucks. And I was like, you're right, sir. You're right. I ended up in 2020, I ended up taking over in a way. Okay. My dad was running his own thing. I was in the shop working with him, and I just kind of started doing things like, okay, what does it take to make a business? Okay, they need a name, they need a brand, they need colors, they need logos, They need this, they need that. So I started taking those steps slowly, not very fast, but I was like, okay, I'm learning really what the business is, how it works. I understood the business since I've been here since 2006. I was in sixth grade. So like, I know what it is, but I don't know how to make money in it.
Yeah.
And we never made money.
So that's always interesting because I've worked with a lot of people where you have a father or a mother and then a son or a daughter. And that's always an interesting dynamic because often it reverts back to, hey, look, you revert back to your role. So look, I'm the dad. I've been doing this for how long? You're the kid. You got the fancy MBA, blah, blah, blah. But what do you practical experiences versus MBA. So how did you kind of navigate that?
We kind of ignored each other, honestly. I ignored what he was telling me, and he ignored what I was telling him.
Perfect.
Right? We literally went the opposite ways. We had arguments, obviously, throughout, and there was like very significant blow-ups that we had against each other that it's still ingrained in my brain, and which makes me sad, but also like, okay, it had to happen, right? Yeah. That stuff had to happen for me to take the step. We were struggling. Since he had the business to that point, we were struggling. That's 15, 16 years of just struggling in business. He survived, but we were struggling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I passed up I passed up all these opportunities I had to make money for the family because I saw my mom was part of the business and she was working very hard and
Mm.
she was here until late nights. And I was like, I don't want my mom to have to work that hard. So I went to my pops and said, let me just join you. So that way you guys can start going home early.
Mhm.
Like, let's just make it a priority where business can run, you guys go home. He was paying me $500 a month versus you see all your colleagues and friends from college and this, they're now making 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 between the range. And you're over here making $500 a month, which is like 6,000. Like this is a significant difference.
Yes.
Yeah. That made me kind of frustrated and kind of lit a fire up my ass. But the biggest change that actually happened was not just the little business stuff that you have to do day to day, which is like customer service and like operational and delivery. That's just something that every business has. I think the biggest change was I found somebody to help me.
Nice.
So we went from my dad, my mom, and myself to somebody. Now I couldn't afford anybody at that time, so I had to go to the Philippines and I called up a friend and I said, "Hey, I know you have people in the Philippines. Do you know anybody looking for a job that could help me with administrative related work?" And lo and behold, he has somebody at that time. We got on an interview and she goes, "I don't know anything about administration. I'm just trying to get in." And I'm like, "I don't know anything about business. I'm just trying to get in. Let's do it."
We're
That's
gonna be
literally
great
the
together.
interview.
Well, at
We're gonna
least
be great
I
together.
will say though, like, humility is a big thing in business. A couple things I'll just stand on a minute that I think are super important here. Number one, you know, you tell your story about your family that is really it was, you know, they were making some money, but they're working their tails off and they had to be there 24/7. And you know what? I see that with so many, I would say the majority of small businesses that I deal with when I start with them, they're kind of chained to the business and they have this business that is really kind of a low paying job that they're working 24/7 and they have these dreams and goals of getting out of it, but they don't really ever take the action. And I think the thing that is different is when you stand it from the outside and you see it, and you're like, wait a minute, we've got to do some things differently, or we're going to keep getting the results we're getting. So let's figure out what the heck we got to do and then do it. And I think that's where you stepped in. Would you agree with that?
Percent. You know, like every level has different things that it requires. Like if you want to make your first $100,000, there's a different type of work that you have to provide for that. But
Yeah.
then when you decide you want to go from 100 to a million, that's just a different level of work. It is not just you anymore. It's not just
Yes.
getting a small delivery done. It's like actually having a business process in place, actually having systems in place, actually having some sort of softwares to manage yourself,
Yes.
something that assists you because scaling in essence isn't how much you as an individual can do. It's how much you and your team can do.
And that's so
Right? At the end of
true.
the day, how much
Yeah, I love that you talked about like hiring. I had to hire somebody, and you recognize that early. And I think people are hesitant to hire folks, and a lot of times it's because they made the hire where they're like, I'm going to hire my brother's cousin because they seem like a nice person, and that's not why you hire somebody. But you have to have the vision enough and step out enough to actually take the commitment to hire somebody, figure out the right person, figure out what the heck they're going to do, and then make hold them accountable to do those things, and then you can scale.
well, I hired like that too, you know, honestly speaking, like a
Sure.
lot of times I just hire people who feel like, oh, you're friendly. Let's get like even the first interview with the lady, and it's not even like, are you skillful? It's like, oh, you want to grind? Let's go grind. You know, let's figure it out. She was skilled. She was skilled. Don't get me wrong. Her resume was engineering and all this,
Wow.
but like at that time, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All I knew was who the person's in front of me, what they're looking for, what I'm looking for, and budget.
Yes.
I was getting $500 a month. She wanted $500 a month. Guess what? I'm now taking home $0 a month.
Wow.
Right? That was the trade off. That was the trade off. But the trade off was for longevity of my career or my life.
Yes.
It's like I need help. I know that we have customers, we have people that come in, but we cannot deliver because we don't have enough manpower.
Yes.
Okay, how about you help me build parts of my business and I also help you while I continue managing customer sales because that's the level I'm at in my business. I mean, I have to do the work.
Yes.
And so they would
Yes.
help me with the back end of development of the business while I would continue doing the front end. And I would just give them the, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I need. Like a good guidance in essence.
But that,
Now we're like, what, 6 years in?
yeah,
Since
but I would say
2020?
there,
Yeah,
you did something when you hired that, you had that you did recognize. Number one, we got somebody that was smart. And then you got somebody, you said heart, but somebody that's got, if you have skill and will, you can't teach the will. Like if they're ready to grind and they're ready to work hard, you can teach skill if they have the mental capacity, right? But you can't teach will. And so you had somebody that was ready to go, and that heart or that grind, and you saw it in your sports teams as well. You got somebody that is, maybe they're not the most talented, but they're going to work their tail off. That's value.
yeah. And every team needs different styles of players, right? What I look for is I don't have a lot of skills. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I'm that skillful in a lot of things, right? And so I always just look for the person that can cover my flaws at
Yes.
the end of the day. Because there might be something I'm really, really good at, but there's a lot of things I'm not really, really good at. And I recognize that. And I'm like, okay, can you fill that void for me? Right? Can you actually fill that void for me? Like some of the things is like scheduling myself. We talked about that earlier before we got
Yeah.
started. Scheduling. I don't know how to schedule. I'm very bad at it. Well, now I have a administrative team member that manages my schedule. And now if somebody's like, "Hey, I need time with you to have a conversation," I have to look at my schedule and I have to say, "This is my availability." And yes, it may deter some people, but at the end of the day, it's giving power back to me to be able to focus on what I have to focus on during the moments I'm available for that day. And it's not nobody's able to pull me to just let the day run me, right? All the time. And there's times the day runs me, but there's times where I can run the day, right? I can operate based on the day.
I really think that, when our conversation, when we started it before we jumped on here, about we both want to double our business this year and will both double our business this year. I have no doubt. But that sort of extreme intense focus, and you talked about, oh, I have a personal trainer, so I have to go to the gym at 4, so that makes me focus my time that I do have, my finite amount of time, and you get more done because you're more focused. And isn't it funny how when it's like the day before you go on vacation, when you do that, you get a whole bunch of stuff knocked out. So that now having this administrative person keeps you on track. I have one of those too, and she does that for me too. Really helps. You get way more done. You can 3x or 5x what you can get done today just by having some focus, right?
Percent. It's that plus other people doing things that you needed to get done, right? So it's a little bit of mix about that. And you have to sacrifice. A lot of people forget, this is the small business problem. The small business problem that I think it is we have to survive our own lives, right? So when a business owner comes, they're a small business, they're thinking about, man, I gotta survive. I gotta survive now because I got rent, I got payments, I gotta feed my kids, I gotta do this. What are you talking about scaling? There's no scaling for me. This is it. Like whatever comes in, I have to take it and I have to pay my bill. That's it.
Yes.
There's no mental fortitude of like, oh, let me go hire somebody and sacrifice. But if you are a small business owner and you decide that, look, I want to earn more money, well, at that point, you do have to sacrifice in the beginning. There's not one person I've heard that hasn't gone through a sacrifice time
Yes.
in the beginning of the stage where they're not taking it there. Like, for example, for myself, like I said, I passed up a lot of shit. I was making $0 a month for long periods of time,
Yes.
sacrificing it, and now I can leave at 4:30. Oh my God, it's crazy, right? Crazy. 5 years in, 6 years in, now I can leave at 4:30. Do I want to leave at 4:30? No, because I have to work. I do. I should work now, but like I can go. I can
You
go.
have the option. And I'll tell you, I think I'll jump in there because I've seen this with businesses. And what happens to business owners, they get in this business and I'm going to have time and freedom and fun and money. And it's going to be awesome and blah, 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 blah. And I have this great idea or service or whatever. And then they get into it, and then they get beat down, and they have people problems, and they can't find the right people, and they don't have sales where they want to be, and revenue's not what it's supposed to be, and profit is less, and expenses go up, and they get tired, and then it becomes, I want to make payroll. And when your goal is to make payroll, the best you're going to do is make payroll, and that's really sad. So having a higher vision, and like, I tell people I want to double this year, and they're like, "What?" I'm like, yeah, I mean, I think it's really doable, actually. All I have to do, I actually have a plan. I'm just going to work my plan,
Yeah,
and the outcome is not 100% predictable, but I know if I do these things, I'm going to get these results over time.
I agree. I don't know if you've known Jim Rohn
Yeah,
and Brian Tracy and all those gentlemen. At the end of the year, I actually do the Jim Rohn goal setting YouTube video. They have the part one, part two thingy, and I walk through it with it. And I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm be honest with you, I don't hit my goals every year, never at all. But when I go through that list year over year, I'm like, oh, I hit some of these goals. That's crazy
yeah,
because it was on paper, it was derived from something, and there were action steps in there, right? I did make action steps to be like, oh, I want to achieve this. It's on paper. Year over year, I have achieved a lot of the goals that were there, but I also didn't achieve all of them, right?
sure.
It's not 100% back average, right? But being able to be mindful and put yourself to have a specific idea, a specific goal, and then working towards those things step by step, you're gonna get there. Step by step, you're gonna get there. And a lot of people want it to overnight. It's not an overnight thing.
No.
Don't like if you go in and you're like, I want to get overnight success. Well, you might be one in a million that will get it, but surely if we're talking about consistently, statistically, historically, you gotta go in and put in the work.
I love it. So what's your vision for your company when it's finished?
When it's finished. So what do you mean, like 10 years down the road?
Well, I mean, I always say, I ask this question to everybody, whether they've been in business for a year or 10 or 20 years, like, what does it look like when it's done? Because at some point you've developed this out, it runs by itself. It's a sellable asset. Like, what's your kind of vision? What's it look like when it's finished?
Honestly speaking, the industry we're in, the signage, the printing, well, let's just say signage printing business in its essence, because I have a lot of brands. I have rap business and all
Sure.
that. The signage business is majority family business owned businesses, in especially the nationwide. Like if you go through sign companies, you'll notice that it's a family run business,
Mm,
most of them. Like there's this, there's that. So when it comes to my signage side of the business, I would say that either my family has some stake in the game and they go in and they run it, and it's a legacy for the family to keep going because it does contracting work and GC work and all of that, like it really does it, there is value to it. And how is AI gonna build shit?
yes.
Like how is it gonna go in? Like it's not gonna do it. Like so it is availability for that. My media business, I want to sell at the end of the
Okay.
day. Like I want to get in, get out eventually. My rap business, same thing as the sign business. I want it to be something where somebody that I know that likes cars, and because I know the business, I'm not a car fanatic. I'm be honest with you. I'm a graphic artist fanatic. Like I like seeing beautiful art
Mm,
on vehicles. That's what I like. I don't like the car itself. Like if you pull up a McLaren in front of me, I'm like, it's another car. It's gonna get you from point A to point B.
yes.
Like that's my mind about cars. But if you put some creative shit on your vehicle on the McLaren that looks so beautiful, that's where I'm gonna like, damn, that's cool. Right. So there's that aspect. And for that business, I would want somebody to take over as well. Like, hey, you like cars, you
Mm.
like this. It's just something for you. So like, it's more so. A lot of my business are that I'm trying to build is so somebody can have something that I didn't have and let go. So in the future, whenever whoever takes over, they have something to run with versus I've already developed majority of the aspects of it.
That's beautiful. I love it. Okay, so you mentioned AI, and I like that you're talking about AI proof businesses. I think that's important. I always used to talk about Amazon proof businesses 10 years ago Because if you can get, there's a lot of businesses that lost out to Amazon because it was just too easy and the price is the same and blah, 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 blah. So you had to overcome that with service or have a service business or something, work your thing, whatever that is, right? So now it's AI. What's your view on AI? Good, bad? How do you use it in your business?
It's a very wonderful tool that is underdeveloped right now. I don't think it's developed yet. There's a lot of problems with
Yeah.
AI. So like a lot of people are so scared because they're like, "Oh man, AI is amazing. It's gonna take over and it's doing this." I'm like, if you used AI, you would know it's not that great yet. Like it's not to that point where you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna struggle." Will it get there? 100%. It will get there. I think it will get there, but as long as you know what AI can provide to your team service, I think you're gonna be fine. As long as you know how to utilize it. Like for our team, we actually created modules,
Hmm.
GPTs, learn how to utilize that, and it made a lot of things easy. Like clarifies a lot of things for you much faster.
Yeah.
And the GPTs that we created is like if Warren came to me and Warren told me I need this, that, and that, and I take what exactly Warren said, it will put it in the terms of what my business and my designers and everybody needs, and the output would be faster. So now back in the day, we would have somebody type out what Warren needed in
Uh-huh.
a instructional manual. Now we don't have to type out what Warren needed in an instruction manual. GPT does it for
That's
us.
beautiful. Yeah, it's a time saver. That's what I tell my clients too. It's like use it for time saving and organization and efficiency. The people stuff, the creative stuff, that still needs to be done by people, right?
Yeah, you have to have a executive. You have to have somebody who wants to be a strategist and utilization. That's essentially what majority of the skill set. And if you have the day-to-day skill sets, that's going to be obviously, I think personally phased out, right? Because those are low-level skills. Those are skill sets that a lot of the low-level personalities and people can have, and there has to be a higher level skill set that you need, right? And that's something AI cannot modulate. Like it cannot.
Yeah.
AI cannot have the feelings between me and you. Like there's no way that it can derive the relationship me and you have.
Yes.
If I had a like talking to you, me and you wouldn't have this relationship. We wouldn't have talked multiple times. We wouldn't have meetings 4 or 5 times prior to this because AI, that feeling, that tonality, that understanding is not going to be there. So somebody has to be there, and that's the human nature of it, right? So humans cannot be replaced by AI because AI cannot replicate that part. It cannot
I
replicate
don't
it.
care what you say.
So
Absolutely, right? It doesn't have a soul. Okay, so tell me, thank
it
you for that. So tell me one thing, if you could give a piece of advice to somebody starting a business or buying a business, something maybe you would have done differently or whatever, what would that be?
work on yourself.
Work on yourself. That's brilliant. Tell me more about that. I love that.
So like I mentioned, Jim Rohn in the past, Brian Tracy, goal setting, Alex Hermosi. There's one thing that's very common that you will see in the business owners that want to achieve something greater in life. What that is they say you should work harder on yourself than you do on your business,
Mhm.
right? Why yourself? Because the person you must become to achieve the goals that you need is going to be far greater, and that person is going to take that business somewhere. You have to become somebody different. You have to, and if you maintain the same skills you had where you were at $100,000, you're going to be at $100,000. There's nothing changing, right?
Yes.
The change is the skill set that you develop. It's working on the little things, the nuances. And a lot of times people would say, "Hey, I don't know if I'm smart enough, intelligent enough. I don't know if I read these books and it doesn't go in my head, like all of these things." And I'm like, you know what? You underestimate the brain level and the brain activity that you have because I agree with you. I read a lot of books and goes over
Mm.
my head. Well, somehow, some way, it comes back to me later on in the years. And
Yes.
I'm like, oh, wow, that's crazy. My brain is wild. Like, I thought I didn't know any of this. And guess what? I
Yeah,
do.
100%. I agree. So we have this is totally what we teach to everybody. And it's like, hey, first of all, we have a formula: B times do equals have. So do, we get what do is, and we know what have is, but the B is us. That's learning, intellectual curiosity, integrity. That's We all know that if you want to hire really great people, you got to be a killer, because killer people aren't going to work for B grade people, because game knows game. And I want to work for somebody I can learn from, and I want somebody to work for me that I can learn from too, that has things they can do, things I can't do, but I've got some game that they don't have either, and they know that. So that's how you attract the best and brightest. And until you get the best and brightest, you're not going to really crush it in business.
I mean, that's 100%. I agree with that a little bit. I would say that there are people out there that still with B grade can take you to a step, because you need stepping stones.
Yep.
And it's not B grade, that A grade at that moment,
Yes.
right? Those people were A grade at that moment. But again, it comes back to you. Like, where did you go from? Were you a B level that was an A at that time? And now are you at an A level for another? Like, because the level's never going to stop. Like,
Yes.
there are so many insane human beings out there that are so well educated, so smart, masterful in their art, so skilled with marketing, so skilled with sales, so skilled with accounting, whatever the departmental you want to talk about. There's people out there that are just achieving greatness just because they are able to be greater, right? And that's essentially what you should strive for, and results are gonna come. And if they don't, you just put your head down and go back at
Go
it.
back at it. Okay, that's great. I'm going to ask you now to wrap this up, three super important questions, and then we'll rock out. It's been great chatting with you. Okay, number one, if you're an animal, what kind of animal would you be?
If I was an animal, what kind of animal I would be? That's a good one. I'm kind of lazy sometimes. I want to be a panda.
You want to be a what
But
was that?
can I like a
A
panda? Like, let me go
panda.
to sleep. Yeah, let me go relax. But honestly, most of the time I answer lions and like animals that are more in like the safari, that are
More
aggressive.
aggressive.
That's essentially, yeah, what I would answer. But I'm also a very lazy person at times, and that's how I effectively build my systems. Like, because of my laziness, I have to build something for my laziness to be overcome, right? I like sleeping, so panda, like, that's another one.
I like it. You sit around, eat some bamboo, and I mean, that's one thing. Like with coaching, or with your workout, or with your trainer, it's like that accountability, and like, okay, I got to do. I know I don't really want to do this, but I got to do it. I got to stay on track, and so that's wonderful. Okay, next one. What do you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be when I grow up? That's a very difficult question for me. I'd still give you an answer. The answer would be that I would like to be noticed as one of the best marketers in the world.
I love it. Yeah, yeah. So that dovetails into my third one, which is, what do you want to be remembered for?
Not marketing. I don't want to be remembered for marketing. I would want to be remembered for being a good
I
person.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be the more simpler way. Like, marketing is more business oriented, but if it's just me as a person, a good person, he was good. You don't have to be great, just good.
Yeah, he is a good dude, right? Yeah, and that little things that we do like that, they change the world a lot more than the big grandiose things. And honestly, and that's the things that people remember. It's the little things you do for folks a lot of times.
Yeah, and it's not. You just do what you have to do. Like, I don't expect people to understand anything. I don't expect people to treat me a certain way. There's no expectation with what I do. I just do what I do, and I hope for the best. And let's say I rub somebody the wrong way. Well, I'm sorry. Like, let me talk to you. Let's figure that out. And let's say that somebody really loves me. I'm like, yay. Like, it's not. I'm not being malicious with my intentions. Right. At the end of the day, there might be times my bad habits come in play. There might be times my characteristics that I was young, where I was an angry child, comes into play. But it's not something. Even though I modulated it, and I kind of brought it down to a level, it may come out. And that's just humans. And if you treat me like a human and you understand, okay, this might have just been a bad day for this guy. Let me just have a conversation. I think you would get further with me, right?
Yes,
Versus we'd be like, take that and you're just like, this is it. Like, this is who he is. And I'm like, okay, great. Because humans are complex. Like, if you treat humans as that's who they are, that's it, then you're just characterizing them and then not allowing them to flourish.
right. We all have our days, that's for sure. And we all deserve some grace. If we give out some grace, we get a little back. Life is good.
Yeah, that's exactly right, man.
Hey, Cheyenne, this is super fun. MSK Signs, graphics, wraps, all the things you do. I wish you the best. We're going to celebrate at the end of the year when we both double our businesses. Are you in?
Man, let's celebrate. Let's make it happen, and let's grind. Let's go
Let's
for it.
grind. Be good, my friend. I enjoyed it.
Liked what you heard? Let's make it real. Schedule your free coaching session today at sugarland.actioncoach.com.